Your relationships may or may not be this rough, but I'm sure they could be better. Maybe you're looking for more trust in your relationships, increased intimacy, or less alienation. If you're tired of the status quo, or worse, the dysfunction of some of your relationships, I'll show you a skill you can develop to improve any relationship instantly. And don't worry about my family. At some point, we'll figure things out. To improve any relationship instantly, we have to develop the skill of honor. To honor anything is to assign it its appropriate value. And all people have a base level value because we have been created in the image of God. We all start off with the value God Himself has given us. God has crowned each person with glory and honor. So to honor people, we simply assign them their God-given value. So far, this is not a skill, but merely a starting point and a definition. But now that we know what honor is, the new questions become, how do we honor people? And how do we build honor as a skill? How we honor people is by identifying their value and then recognizing that value either privately or publicly. Now, when identifying a person's value, it's not as simple as merely reciting to them, "You have been created in the image of God." It's a bit more to it than that. It's about noticing their talents and their gifts and the godly qualities that God has given them, and then showing them that you enjoy, love, and or appreciate these things about them. We like to call this highlighting, illuminating, and celebrating somebody's God-given value. To highlight something is to draw attention to something. It's always been there, but when you highlight it, you make it more bold and more pronounced in a way that it wasn't before. To illuminate something is to reveal something that was once or previously concealed. And paradoxically, human beings can add to the value that God has given us. When we accomplish something in this life, we add to our already incalculable value. And these accomplishments should be celebrated. When we celebrate someone's value, we are acknowledging publicly what they have accomplished.
It's my turn!
Now you might be thinking, all this sounds nice, but can honor really improve my relationships instantly? I mean, have you seen my coworkers? Have you seen my family? And I get it. But I'm not talking about abusive relationships that God is telling you to get out of, but relationships with the people that God has strategically connected you to. And trust me, I get the skepticism concerning this topic. But watch what happens with my family when just one person decides to honor someone else.
My turn! Okay, fine. I will take it. Wow. Thanks, Gracie. You do a really good job at letting people have it when you don't want to. I guess I should do that more too. I love everyone.
Alexandria honored Josiah by putting his desires before hers. Then Josiah honored her with a great compliment and a hug. You might think this is an overly simplified example, and in some ways it is, because usually my kids do a way better job of listening to me than this, and they worked really, really hard to get into character for these roles. But I have total confidence that if you, in the midst of all of the awkwardness and the tension and irritation that we have in relationships, if you just stop for a moment and honor the person across the table from you, that relationship would improve. The hostility of life can make us lose sight of how worthy people are of honor. But if we just took a moment to refocus on another person's God-given value, something great could happen. When we honor people, we could go from little trust to more trust in the relationship. We could go from misunderstanding to understanding. And we could even go from alienation to intimacy. And you can honor people in all kinds of ways. If someone is great at helping around the house, you can highlight that for them. Draw attention to the fact that you notice this great behavior and tell them that you appreciate this about them. You could let somebody know that they are a great communicator, highlighting a God-given gift that they have. You could write a note to your pastor and let them know how much they have been a great influence in your life and how much you have learned from them. You could illuminate or reveal something that was previously concealed and let your pastor know how much they mean to you and how much you appreciate them in your life. And when your little cousin graduates from college, be sure to attend the celebration and tell her how proud you are of her, celebrating her and publicly acknowledging what she has accomplished. We honor people by assigning them their appropriate value. And how do we do this? By highlighting, illuminating, and celebrating their God-given value. And we develop this skill by honoring people over and over and over and over again. Honor is a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. Work it often, and you will be amazed at how strong your ability to honor and your relationships become. And things don't have to be going bad for you to want to improve the relationship. Maybe you're just tired of the status quo. If so, you can take a relationship from good to great by constantly honoring the other person. I challenge you to be courageous and honor someone today. Think of a family member or a friend or a teammate who could benefit from you reminding them of their God-given value. And when you do, you might be surprised at just how quickly trust, vulnerability, and intimacy are built while misunderstandings and alienation begin to wither away. If you want to learn about and develop the skill of honor more, remember that you can always pray and ask God for help. He is your greatest source of help. But in addition to that, you can also check out this video playlist or go to growingtruedisciples.com for more practice.